Guys, it's Z here for another cold yet awesome Tuesday tip of the week. Today's rig we're going to go over is how to rig a Texas rig. So to do that, we're going to need 3 components. 4 if you count your line. First, you have a bait of some sort. Today we're going to be using a Senko. Give that time to focus. There we go. We're also going to be using a bullet weight, and we are going to use an EWG hook, extra wide gap. You can see that there. This is just a hook that helps you run things weedless. Let's put my hand here so you can see that hook. Excellent. Now, a kind of an indicator I use when I'm doing these, anytime you're using a hook in a plastic, I usually want my hook to be about 1/3 of the length of my plastic. So that's just a little tip that I use to make sure my hook is big enough. So this Senko, gosh darn, about perfect. So let us get rigging. We are going to take our line, which I've got floating through the air here. It's cold, so I'll try and do this without shaking. First, you are going to put your line through the bullet weight, right through here. It's pretty darn tough today. It is chilly for being a May afternoon. Okay, that bullet weight is now on your line. You can see it slide back and forth. We're just going to leave it way over here for now. Now you're going to tie on your hook. We'll hold that up against my face so you can see that in the background, to our line. I'm using a braided line right now, so that means, what knot do I want? Did I hear that? You said Palomar, right? Yep, that's the knot you want to use with braided line. So let's run this through. And you can refer to our Palomar knot video that we did a long time ago, last year. I remember I filmed that Palomar knot video the day Multifarious caught himself a big old bass. So, just doing Palomar knot here. We don't have to slow down and show you this time, because you guys should be pros by now. But if you haven't mastered it, check out that video, or you can watch this one too. I'm going to put that through the loop. Once I put that through the loop, I can cinch that up, cinched up, ready to go. And we trim our tag line here. Guys, it's cold. My hands are moving at 2 miles an hour. I'm going to give myself a little bit of tag end. Never want to cut too close. So now your line should look like this. Weight and hook. If you want, you can peg that up there too. There are reasons that you'd want to do that, and there are reasons that sometimes you might not want to do that. It just helps keep everything together and sliding up and down and up and down and up and down. So when we're rigging this Senko weedless, we are going to want to take, and this is what you want to master. See this, that amount of space right there on the hook? That's the amount that you want to enter your worm and pop out. So imagine that amount, just like a little centimeter. You're going to come in the very tip of this. I'm going to probably do it in the light here. Very center of that, and then you want to go in that same distance we just looked at on the hook, and then pop out. Bam, popped out. Now you can slide that worm all the way down, back so it covers that gap you just made. So now it's covering the gap, but our hook isn't popped through. We will take that, and we want to run that through. I usually imagine where that's going to poke through. See that? So we want to take this, kind of bend it a little bit. Not too much, you just want to bend it just a wee bit. And poke it through. Basically, the goal for today is to have that bait sit as straight as it can. See how that's pretty straight? It could be better, but it's cold out. Now that worm is sitting straight. If a bass bites down on this, you will see this hook be exposed, but as of right now it's covered, so it's kind of weedless. You can poke it back through if you need to. And what makes it a Texas rig is we have our weight, our bullet weight, sitting right up against the worm. And like I said, a lot of guys will run either a bobber stop or something up here to peg that, and that's a great idea. One variation you can do, you saw we just ran that just to cover up just a little bit, but we can actually cover up that whole knot, and that can help. I'll show you why it can help. So instead of coming in here and popping out right away, why don't we go up a little bit farther? So I'm going to put this in the light so you can see it. Let's go right to the bend of that hook, and now we're going to pop out. Okay, we're going to do the same thing like we did last time. Slide this all the way up and around, but now you can see I'm going to pull this, it's tough to see on camera, up and over the line a little bit, and then I'm going to poke this out just like I did before. That looks kind of terrible. Here we go. So now, do you see the difference here? This rubber, let me hold this in my hand here so you can kind of see, is up so much higher than before, which means when we have our weight, it will bounce on that plastic of the worm versus bouncing on the top of your hook there and on the top of your knot, which could damage the stability of that knot a little bit, especially if you're using mono. So that's just a little tip. As you can see, it just bounces on there a little bit better. I could have done better with rigging this. Nice and straight is the key, and there you have it. That is the Texas rig. Thanks so much for tuning in to this Tuesday tip of the week. We'll catch you this Friday. Thanks for watching.